not a monolith. We come from all walks of life, and we are atheists, we are agnostic, we are Christian now or Hindu. Like, right? Like we've converted to another religion too. And so, yeah, we're a pretty large and diverse community. And I think that that goes to show that the word ex-Muslim is it's actually a very big and heavy word because it doesn't, it defines us just leaving Islam and that's about it, right?
And I also
So,
wanted to add that I've been, obviously not everyone can do this, only do this if it's safe to do so. But it's happened in multiple situations now where I meet a Muslim who doesn't know me, right? Or I didn't know before, not as Aladdin, but, in my personal life. And, slowly as the topic comes up, they ask me, "Oh, are you Muslim? Why do you know so much about Islam?" They're curious about that. And I have the luxury and, the right to be able to tell them, no, I used to be and I'm not anymore. And it's interesting to see how their ideas of me are first formed by our interactions, and then they find out that I'm ex-Muslim, and that helps them, build a better image of what an ex-Muslim is. If I just lead
yeah.
with, hi, you're a Muslim, I'm ex-Muslim, it doesn't really get us anywhere. But when it comes up organically, I am more and more confident these days to tell people who I am instead of what I used to do back in the day, which is, kind of hide it, be coy about it, avoid the
Yeah.
topic. And yeah, not everyone has the luxury of doing that, but I try to do my best to bring visibility to us, even organically in real life, because it doesn't just have to be in online spaces.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. I think, and that's the beauty of the things that even the four of us collectively do, right? You're all using video. I'm using sort of a different medium, but I think that goes like a long way in terms of how people consume content, right? Like someone might see a visual and that might give them enough of like, okay, that's all I need. And someone might need an hour-long video and a live stream hearing from ex-Muslims. And so I think it's really cool that we can all do this in multiple different ways. So
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I'm glad
exactly.
that even the younger generation is engaging more with the topic, because, for example, making TikToks and reels and stuff, I don't do that as often, but I'm glad that someone else is doing it. So I'm glad that we have this diversity in approaches as well.
yeah, for sure.
And we need a lot more people
We
doing
do.
it with us. There's not enough of us. I'll
We
leave it
do.
at that
Yeah,
for
yeah,
now.
we do. And I
Yeah,
don't do the best job at like pitching it or like selling it as something that people should really be getting into, but if you're able to, you should. Yeah.
completely agree. Yeah. And one of the things that we wanted to talk about before we get going with the next part of the live stream is what you can do in Ex-Muslim Awareness Month if you want to support us. I do have a list of 10 things that you can do. I can read them right now. So first thing you can do, and this is the easiest, is share this live stream. So we're currently going live 3 different places right now. So this channel, Secular Spirit, Uniting the Cults as well, and the Ex-Muslims of North America YouTube channel too. So please, if you have the time, like all those videos going on right now, and share as well with anyone who you think might, get something valuable from watching them. And the other thing you can do is use the hashtags Ex-Muslim Month and why not #whyNOTislam. So I'll mention a few other things that you can do, but let's start actually with talking about whyNOTislam.net. So
Mhm.
who wants to take the lead on talking about that? You, Aladdin? I'm joking, not you.
I don't
um,
get the credit for that. I didn't do any of the
yeah,
work,
exactly.
so you go ahead.
I can help fill in the blanks here about why not Islam and where that came from. So, ex-Muslims of North America basically launched whyNOTislam.net as part of a campaign, which is basically why not Islam. They had two billboards up in New Jersey, which is basically one of the most densely populated states in the US, where the Muslim population has nearly doubled in the last decade. And so the billboard asked, losing faith in Islam, you're not alone, and invited in like viewers to basically come to this website, and really kind of it validates your doubts because a lot of our doubts really are rooted in Islamic doctrine. And so this website really does provide these 4 major topics that we're all, like, kind of, going back and forth on when we're really starting to question, doubt Islam. And so, it really does help in terms of getting accurate information, and it's all rooted in the Quran as well, which really does help to, like, it doesn't go into the hadiths, which are questionable, they're debatable, right? All those things kind of get put away, and it really just focuses on the Quran. And so the New Jersey billboards ran from International Apostasy Day, August 22nd to September 21st, so a good for a month. It reached about 4 million, estimated 4 million people. And the whyNOTislam.net website drew like tens of thousands of visitors over just even that month alone. And obviously, they're continuing to see that traffic come through. Their aim of the website was really to offer just clear, evidence-based information using the Quran's own words. And it does do a good job of, like, kind of asking questions that we ask when we're on that journey too, of like, what does Islam say about, like, does Islam really predict, like, exactly how a baby is made, and like the whole embryology, like, even that is answered. And so, what's really interesting is that the campaign drew thousands of visitors from more than 85 countries, including Egypt, Pakistan, Indonesia. Were obviously openly challenging and questioning Islam can, have obviously, like, severe legal and social consequences. And so, just building on the campaign's momentum, like, we basically just, Ex-Muslim Awareness Month, kind of, it felt very natural for us to go, you know what? Let's amplify this. We're inspired by this campaign. Let's continue to amplify this message of why not Islam, because that's exactly what we say, right? There's a Muslim campaign that happened in North America years ago that was like, why Islam? And so this really does push back on that as well, and really kind of lets people know, like, why we chose not to follow Islam, and why ex-Muslims even exist, right? And that it's okay to doubt and question. So really, hoping that next year XMNA is preparing to expand the campaign as well with new content, additional billboards in other US states, really trying to broaden the reach. Um, and really, this whole campaign was geared towards doubting and questioning Muslims. So, and I think we're, slowly starting to see that people are coming through and checking out the website. It's a really great resource, I think, for those, that really early part of your journey where you're like, shit, I need information. I don't know what's true anymore. So,
Thank
I
yeah.
really appreciate a campaign like this, because we see countless campaigns of, like, try Islam, ask me about Islam, why Islam, all that kind of stuff.
Let the Quran
Um,
speak. Yeah,
let
that's
the
the one in
Quran
my
speak.
area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on first, I also want to acknowledge the impulse of, a believer seeing this, feeling kind of offended or, taken aback, like, why is this attack against my faith and my people, and so on and so forth. I want them to pause for a second and think of how many times we've seen the pro-Islam, side, and how often do you come across people who are speaking against that. And if it's not
Mhm.
us, then who else, right? Because the other campaigns that gain this kind of traction would be like, kick all the Muslims out, Islam's going to take over the West. That's not really what you're saying here at all. It's just actually targeting Muslims and questioning Muslims and ex-Muslims to get more information and find community. So I appreciate the intention behind that and the messaging and everything. And I hope that Muslims can take that to heart too, and see that this is not an attack on them in any way.
Right.
And I'm sure it's expensive, so they need donations so that they can have more
True.
billboards. And they're also asking people for, what city would you like the billboard in? If you could put that on the screen, Alim, there's a comment there about asking people for where they want the billboard, and then where to send the email.
Yeah. Do you want to read it?
Yeah, want to see the billboard campaign in your area? Reach out to info@exmuslims.org to share where you think we should go next. Also visit whyNOTislam.net.
I wholeheartedly believe that too,
Yeah.
Zenith.
Zenith leaves a comment saying, cats. I do not believe in God. I believe in cats. And unlike God, you can actually see the cat next to Aladdin right now.
Did you see him paw at my shoulder for attention?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
so cute. She's like, hey, I want to get in on Ex-Muslim month too.
I wish they were aware. Yeah. If that's all about Why Not Islam, it's by ex-Muslims of North America. They do other things. Let me put this as a comment here. They have a newsletter. I think it goes out something like once every week.
Yep.
In it is the Dissent Dispatch. A lot of good information there every week. I love reading it.
It's seriously the one newsletter that I will read top to bottom because it's always got really good information and just, yeah, like the latest things that are happening. And I'm like, if I don't have time to like research all this, they give it to you in a really nice, like packaged way. So,
And the thing is, like, you can't, like, there aren't really other publications or websites doing
yeah.
those kinds of stories or looking
Yeah.
at those sorts of things. Yeah. And I don't know if I ever mentioned this to any of you, but ex-Muslims of North America was actually my first entryway into the world of
Me
ex-Muslim.
too.
Yeah, yeah. So just to kind of share the story briefly, I was a journalism student, and we basically had a student magazine, and we got to choose what subject we wanted to talk about. And I had the idea of, why don't I? So I was an ex-Muslim at this point, but it wasn't really part of my life thinking about. I wasn't really thinking about Islam anymore. I'd kind of moved on. But then I thought, what about the people who aren't as lucky as me, who maybe their family situation or the country that they're living in, it's not safe to no longer practice Islam, let alone criticize it. So I thought of finding ex-Muslims and just getting their stories. And it was really hard. It didn't even occur to me at that time, even though, in retrospect, it's obvious, because I was thinking, I'm in Canada. Why would there be any hesitation to share anything about your experiences? But there was. And one of the ways I actually managed to find people to talk, who are willing to talk, was ex-Muslims of North America. Because I remember just searching, is there an ex-Muslim support group? And sure enough, there was one based in Toronto, where I was living.
Oh,
Yeah. So
very cool.
yeah,
That's
yeah. 10 years
interesting.
later, 10 years later, still doing stuff with them.
Same. It's so cool that this was, I think, mid to early 2000s when I forget exactly what that time frame was. Probably maybe 2005 to 2010.
Mhm.
Maybe around that time is when I found ex-Muslims in North America and just even finding the word ex-Muslim because I didn't even identify as that before.
Yeah, I didn't
And
even know
so,
that was a term.
yeah, exactly. And so, like, I was just like, I'm an atheist. But then finding that word, like a light bulb went off in my head, and I was like, shit, that makes so much sense. And yeah, I owe a lot to ex-Muslims in North America. Just having that representation online gave all of us a little more courage to be like, you know what, let me do something about this too. So
And even for people who aren't in North America, they benefit from the work of ex-Muslims of North America too.
yeah.
So, just want to let them know you're not missing out all that much if you're not able to, be there physically. You can still be there virtually. You can still meet people online. So again, thanks to ex-Muslims of North America and everyone in that organization who works with that organization for all these efforts.
Yeah. It's really cool. Liam, do you want to do the top 10 things?
Yeah, let's keep the list going. So there's a few other things. Well, tune into this live stream. We already mentioned that. So I think another big thing is when you're on social media, sharing content about ex-Muslims, from ex-Muslims. I think that's like an important distinction too, because there's a lot of content about leaving Islam from people who I would say have like a very blatant agenda that you can't always necessarily trust. And so when you're hearing it from ex-Muslims directly, of course, they're going to have that agenda of, wanting to criticize Islam or wanting to warn people about the, experiences that they had. But that it's coming from their direct lived experiences. And when you want to learn about the impacts of anything, I would say getting that lived experience is so important. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so, yeah, try finding that and sharing it if possible. And if it's safe to do so, talk about ex-Muslims on social media with people that you feel safe with. And if you can also do so, donate to ex-Muslim organizations like ex-Muslims of North America and others. There aren't that many. Another one I always like to mention is Faithless Hijabi, and that one, it's specifically directed to helping women who left Islam.
Yeah.
And let's see
I would
go
mention
ahead,
the other
please.
one too.
Go ahead.
Infidel Noodle actually just helped launch another one, which is called Elsewhere Initiative.
Oh, I
So it's
didn't know that.
another
Yeah, please
mental
go ahead.
health program for ex-Muslims. And so there's elsewhereinitiative.com. You can go and sign up there. And then I was going to say, like, even the fact that ex-Muslims of Stockholm, the Council of Ex-Muslims of Britain, right? There's ex-Muslims of Germany, ex-Muslims of Toronto. I think just having all of these organizations be online and available and really kind of just helping supporting ex-Muslims around the world. I think that gives me a lot of hope too, right? That there people are really doing the work as well. Yes, we can all create videos and content, and also they're part of doing that work, which is everything from advocating for us at the government level all the way down to even supporting ex-Muslims, like if they need some sort of like they're seeking asylum, they need a letter, right? Like so there's all these organizations really do a lot of work, and I'm grateful that they're here. And we're alive at this time, like 2025, where this is happening. Oh,
Feels like the middle between the past and the future.
yeah.
I don't know which side we're really on though. Yeah.
So there's a couple other things you can do. So I might save them for later, actually, because we are meant to talk about them a little later. But the other main thing I wanted to say is, besides donating, if you can volunteer, honestly, I think any of these organizations, like even like just YouTube channels like mine or Aladdin or Rami's, would benefit a lot from any kind of support you can do. Like it doesn't have to necessarily be financial, but something as simple as, and I get this sometimes from people, is they just send me emails or messages telling me about something that happened that I might not be aware of, or something that might be a good idea to talk about. Even that kind of support is really helpful.
That would be very helpful. Yeah.
Sometimes I'm finding out about things happening in the world from other people that I'm connected with, right? Like it's impossible the amount of content explosion that's happening, like right with online and everything. It's impossible to keep on top of everything. So I really appreciate when ex-Muslims can send me like a news article, something that's happening in the world, and they're like, "Hey, did you hear about this?" So keep that going too, because I think that helps us as well. But
Yeah, and I don't know if anyone else can relate to this, but just being in this world, sometimes day in day out, I sometimes have to just like take a couple of days where I'm not thinking about Islam and all the suffering it's causing around the world. So sometimes I'm actually out of the loop. So people sometimes tell me, "Can you believe what happened here?" And I'm like, "Oh no, what happened now?" And so it is useful as well to stay connected.
yeah, absolutely. And I appreciate that we can all connect with each other too and just do these kinds of things.
Yeah. Is there anything else you wanna mention in terms of support? I'm gonna save the mention of another new website for later on, and we do also want to talk about a few ex-Muslims that are in really tough situations. So we're also going to save that for later on. Anything else that anyone wants to mention in terms of support this month or going forward?
I think
Um,
honestly for me it's just continue seeking help, sharing resources. If there's something that's worked for somebody, it might help somebody else, right? I think that even that helps and goes a long way. And really I think getting content about ex-Muslims from ex-Muslims, I feel like that's kind of for me is a very important thing because there's just so many voices out there right now. And also, we're sometimes competing with AI voices and AI stuff that's like taking over a large chunk of like the video and even like, right, audio video content. And so, yeah, support the ex Muslims that are around you and in your life. So, even the young people in your life, right?
I was going to add one more suggestion. These are all excellent suggestions. We could try to find, maybe like if you watch online content, from ex-Muslims, try to find your favorites, even if it's something that you watched a long time ago, and share it with someone that you know. That way
Yeah,
you might help them, find something that but they don't. So this could be a good month for that.
absolutely. Great idea.
There's a shout out to Aladdin. Put that on screen.
No, I'm not going to plug my own channel, but yeah, you know where to find
Really
me
cool to
if you
see
look.
that though.
Yeah.
Aladdin, take it. What you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
this is a really great comment. So
Yeah,
you should
yeah.
be proud of that too.
Oh, well, thank you. I didn't see that comment. I'm glad that I was part of your journey and your story. And yeah, I'm happy to hear that. Because as we said earlier, we need more people. So every voice counts. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Polygraph says Apostate Aladdin is the main reason I started posting. Yeah. Which,
Aw.
yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. It's actually incredible to think sometimes when I do, you get this definitely more than me, Aladdin, but I sometimes get messages from people in Malaysia, or I remember there was someone from China. So these are ex-Muslims from all around the world, and they reach out to you. I think it just shows really the power of the internet, which previous generations just didn't have, and who knows how much people have to suffer in silence or just suppress their thoughts, and their questions about Islam. But it also shows how universal the experiences are when I hear people from all around the world, people younger than me, older than me, and like how they say I went through the same exact thing as you do. And I think that really does shatter the response that you'll hear from some Muslims where, well, it isn't Islam's fault, like this has nothing to do with Islam. Your parents didn't raise you the proper Muslim way, or you just had bad parents, or it was just your community, or it was just the way that Islam was interpreted in your specific circumstance. No. When you see these stories happening over and over and over again, when you see the misogyny that exists in Muslim communities all around the world, eventually you're going to have to see what the common denominator is.
Yeah, to
And
support
especially
that point,
when
I have,
Islam
sorry.
doesn't give us. Oh, sorry. I was going to say, especially when Islam doesn't really give us a choice or an option to do anything except for believe or else. So why won't we speak up? Why won't we talk about the things that are right, that are systemic, that are problematic, and the things that really bother us about Islam that we can't even like speak out loud? And I think that's really one of the other reasons why Ex-Muslim Month exists, is to really kind of bring our collective voices together, and that there's strength in numbers, and that we can actually to all talk and all talk about the things of that, from everything from the journey of leaving Islam to our experiences of Islam to right what it's like to let go. And that's really cool to sort of, there's more and more of us speaking more loudly, and I think that gives me a lot of hope.
So it's
Go
not
ahead,
just
Alan.
us talking to each other. It's having some sort of I don't know if this is the right word, but unified voice
Yeah.
for the rest of the world.
Yeah, and I think we need both. We need all the diverse voices, and we all can come together and have a unified message as well. So
I was going to mention that there's on the Discord server for my YouTube channel, there's a member of the community who grew up and still is in Mecca, of all places.
wow.
The birthplace of Islam still lives there. So it's not just that we're reaching people who are very far away physically and, ideologically from Islam. Like there are even people in Mecca who watch our videos and they echo similar sentiments and things are tough for them as well. So I'm happy to hear from people all over the world, and I'm glad that we're able to do this.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so
Okay. Shall we
should
move
Who's
on
next,
to the
guys?
next? Yes.
what are we doing?
You
want
can
to
I
do the
just
discussion panel? Oh, go ahead.
may I say one last thing before I jump off, and then you can get more folks in. I just wanted to say thank you to everybody here, all of you guys, all of the ex-Muslims out there that are supporting each other and really helping each other, because at the end of the day, we are a global community. Yes, a global community of very, very diverse people. And somewhere along the way, we lost our faith in Islam too. And really, we are done being treated as a threat, really. And I think that's where we have to stop excusing a religious system that continues to harm us. And so I think that's really where I hope you have a really good discussion with the next few folks, because I'm excited to hear what they have to say as
Well,
well.
Sammy,
But Sam, you're actually going to be in the next discussion.
Okay, that's
You
right.
weren't meant to come on this early, but you're such a great public
Yeah.
speaker that
it ended up being better
nobody-
than the way
yeah,
we planned it
yeah.
anyway.
Exactly.
Oh, thanks, guys.
The other person, hopefully, is Alim. Is Usama inside the backstage?
No, he's not. But Alauddin can be Osama. If he...
Okay, yeah.
Oh wait, no, Osama is here. All right, okay. So
I'll leave room for Osama then.
okay, it was great to see
Bye.
you.
Lad.
Thank you for having me again. See you guys
See
Hope
you.
to see some videos from you very soon.
very
Bye-bye.
soon, I promise. Bye-bye.
See ya.
All right, so Osama is backstage. I guess he was listening all along. All right, hello.
Usama, how
Bye,
you doing?
Sama.
I was actually following some of what was being discussed. It's really amazing, especially when low.
Yeah, can you make yourself a little bit louder somehow?
Yeah.
Or
let's
are you
see.
guys having trouble?
I'm actually getting a delay of some sort.
Yeah, there's a little bit of. Oh no, we can hear you now. Okay.
Seems okay now.
It looked fine to me the whole time.
Okay. let me
You gotta have technical issues. You have to.
It can't be a live stream without the technical issue. Yeah.
see. So,
How are you doing, Osama? Happy Ex-Muslim Month. I'm really glad
I'm
you could
doing
be
great.
here.
So, I'm going to probably have some trouble with the delay thing because I have some time before I actually start hearing you, and I'm hearing myself
okay.
first time. Usually, there is no issue with this.
Osama, maybe you can try something
sure
that
what
really
you're
helps is
saying.
exiting and then coming back in. Maybe you can try that if you heard me.
So,
Yeah, we'll give it a. I think you might be hearing me right now.
yeah, possibly. I'm going to actually exit and then come
Okay.
back.
All right. Okay. So we'll wait for Osama, but we'll just quickly mention what the discussion panel is about here. So building on why not Islam and the things that we already talked about a little bit, what we're going to be discussing in a little bit more in depth than we were already is why should we not have Islam in government, in schools, in families, in one's mind? So for everyone watching live, you can, if you have questions you want to ask us as well, or if you have any thoughts you want to share, please do so in the live chat and we'll get to them if we have the time. Okay, so Osama is back. Hopefully it's a bit better now. Osama, can you hear us?
Okay, let's try. Are you able to hear me?
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so
Good.
I just wanted to mention something about the previous segment. I was actually listening to it, and the amount of reach that's actually happening when it comes to the English speaking segment of this whole multimedia outburst that is happening right now is really amazing, because when you look at the Arabic side of this and how many people are actually out there consuming content and producing content, and seeing how the two aspects, it's a completely different kind of discourse that happens there, because when you're talking about someone who speaks Arabic, they already know what the text actually says. They have been immersed in this from childhood. They know so much. And then when you see how the two sides are merging, there's a kind of a whole landscape with a whole spectrum of people who are really leaving. I wouldn't say in droves, but it's really larger numbers than many people think, especially for people who grew up as Muslims in a Muslim majority country. the percentages are much higher than people would like to admit. It doesn't have to be someone who actually eventually walks out and leaves and becomes an atheist. It doesn't have to be that way, but leaving religion completely and not committing to any of the rituals, any of the system of tenets of the system of belief, this is much wider than people would like to admit.
Yeah,
What's making the two worlds merge? You were saying the Arab world and the English-speaking world are merging. How are they merging?
Internet.
Well, I think
detail.
this is actually this connects a little bit to something that we were discussing in our every week conversation about what actually initiated this wave of leaving Islam in the first place, which I think has a lot to do with that infiltration of global culture into what was hermetically sealed before that. The fact that now there is a kind of a common language, common set of platforms, so many different things that wouldn't have been dreamt of before, these are now being available in common with everybody. So that even though you might have a language barrier that still separates the two types of people, for me, seeing both sides, I see so many commonalities that I would probably say that in many places this separating barrier is actually thinner than people would think. There are so many parallels of things that are starting independently to some extent and moving in parallel because of the fact that everybody is immersed in the same kind of cultural soup right now, if you want to think about
So
it.
the merging, correct me if I'm understanding right, the merging is happening because there now exists people that are in both worlds. They know English and Arabic, and they learn from both groups, and then they exchange ideas.
Well, that too. But what I'm saying is that there are so many things that are happening in parallel that I'm seeing so many of the things that I see in the English speaking world compared to the Arabic speaking world when it comes to ex-Muslim content. So it's not that they are completely separate. There is an advantage when it comes to the Arabic speaking world because many of the English speaking world actually when it comes to knowing the text firsthand, knowing what the actual history is firsthand, you would be surprised that so many of the things that we find commonplace is something that requires explanation, requires people to really get the ABCs of what's actually happening. Whereas for us, we grow up in school, we go through 12 years of education. This is something that we have learned right from the start. And yeah, that I think gives a completely different perspective from that aspect.
Can I add a small detail? This is a technology thing that might help them accelerate the merging of the two worlds, the Arab speaking and the English speaking. I got a notification yesterday or a day before from YouTube.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, I know what you're going to say.
Saying there's a new feature where videos that are published on YouTube are now going to be automatically dubbed into, I think, like 20 or 30 languages. Arabic is one of them. So, and I'm not sure about live streams, and they're going to work on old videos too. So the idea is I make something in English. Anyone who doesn't even know English but knows Arabic can listen to it. I wonder how good it's going to be, the dubbing.
Similar on Instagram too. I just saw one of my videos actually I added, and it basically like has the same voice but in a different language. And so
it's already happening.
Yeah.
Are they using your actual voice?
No, so it was a video. So for Betty, we actually shared a video. And so I was like, let me try this. And I actually created AI translations. It was somebody else narrating it, but the narration sounds exactly like her, but in a different language.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. I was gonna say, so in terms of Osama, like we're talking about why not Islam, right? Why not Islam and why we don't want Islam in governments, in education, healthcare, basically places where decisions are made about us. And so let me ask the three of you. Let's start with government. Why not there?
It's a
Well,
big question. It's what I really like about these kinds of questions is because it really makes me think of people who maybe they don't understand, like maybe they're not part of the Muslim world, for example, and they're wondering, oh, why are people saying all this stuff about Islam, whether it's from ex-Muslims or not?
Yeah.
And I think it would be very valuable to just understand, the nuts and bolts of why the problems emerge. But before we get to that, actually, Osama, this is for my benefit as well as maybe people watching. This is our first time ever speaking with each other. I would love to know a little bit more about you, what your background is, what you work on, anything you think might be interesting for people to know about you.
Well, okay. So for me, as an ex-Muslim, probably I left Islam a little bit before than many of the people who might be leaving Islam recently. That was back in college, I would say about 30 years ago. So that started a long time ago. But my main involvement in activities online didn't actually start until about 10 years ago, when I discovered the online communities, mainly the Arab Atheist magazine, which I help lead right now. So that aspect is mainly what we are involved in. And so our presence initially started on forums online, and then it moved to Facebook. Facebook right now, I don't know, it seems to be in its last breaths before it turns into something else. I don't know. It's frustrating over there right now. But yeah, our project in the Arab Atheist Broadcasting.com goes back to the beginnings of the streaming online, and we have a lot of content there. We went through a little bit of a crisis after some hacking that happened in 23, and that actually enabled us to bring back some archival content that wasn't really there. So this type of aspects of activity that shows the arc that starts from the middle of this thing that started around the Arab Spring beginning, all the way to now. That's mainly where that activity is concentrated. Now, for me personally, I'm a physicist. I have nothing that connects me directly to any of these things. But being a physicist, that was actually part of the process that ended with me leaving Islam in the first place. Looking into physics, looking into how the Quran itself makes claims about the universe, about the world. Initially, I wasn't actually trying to do anything that might be considered blasphemous. I was actually thinking that I was reinforcing my religion, but that crumbled down very quickly, and here we are.
Osama, that's really cool that you were like, I had no idea. So thank you for sharing. And I had no idea that you were actually writing for Arab Atheist magazine. That's really cool.
No, that's really cool. And so you're
Yeah.
telling me that being a physicist didn't bring you closer to Allah? Shocking.
Surprisingly.
Let me add something to the same question about what Usama is doing. So Usama helps me out a lot at Uniting the Cults. When I first started the organization, I emailed him saying I'm starting it, and he said I want to volunteer, and that was really amazing. All we did was start doing meetings. So I stole an hour a week from him. Okay. And after 12 meetings, we realized, okay, let's turn this into a live stream. So now we do weekly live streams called Deconstructing Islam on our YouTube channel, Uniting the Cults. And so I just wanted to add that little part there.
Yeah, but let's emphasize this is actually you're the main driver of this project. I'm basically a support person, but
yeah, really important support though. I'll tell you something I told my mom 2 or 3 days ago. I said, I told my mom, if Usama wasn't with me the way he was this whole time consistently, maybe I would have quit. You know what I mean? Because if you don't have people speaking for you and talking and saying, "Hey, I think you're doing a good thing," and also helping with contributing ideas, I think we would quit. I don't know. I don't know about you guys. I don't think I can work alone.
Teamwork is important, and I assure you that I know that firsthand from the other aspects of what we're doing. I mean, you just mentioned your mom, who has been a really wonderful contributor to many of the artwork pieces that we have in the magazine, and I'm sure that she's going to be mentioning some of that shortly.
Yeah, I guess we didn't say my mom is actually showing up on this show soon, actually very soon, and anyway, so you guys will get to meet her too in a second.
Yeah, she's backstage impatiently waiting. I can see her. But yeah, so let's go back to the question that Haram Doodles asked. So, government. Why not Islam? Haram Doodles, you're muted.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
why
was
not
like, let's start with
Islam?
like the
Yeah,
really
with the
big
biggest
one.
Yeah,
Get it
government.
out of the way.
Yeah. I think for a lot of people, I'll put this question to you, Sam, and Rami. I think a lot of people, they think of, oh well, it's Sharia law, and that's gonna lead to ISIS, like we saw in Iraq. Just want to ask you, like, how accurate do you think that is? Is that what you're concerned about? What are you actually concerned about?
Well, if I want to say something about government itself, even well before going into ISIS and all the violence that might be related to it, look at the people who are living under Islamic law. We're talking about, let me say something about myself, for example. If you look at my birth certificate, at my passport, at my ID card, all of them say Muslim. There's absolutely no regard to the fact that I might have changed my mind. Maybe I'm not interested in that anymore. That has nothing to do with it. You're still going to be a Muslim. Now, what happens if I say, okay, I don't want that? Then you're going to have so many different implications that are going to affect almost every aspect of your life, assuming that there's no violence that's going to be involved. Now, that's one little aspect, but you look further than that, and you see that religion is going to be part of the police, part of the courts, the prison system, inheritance, custody, everything that is related to every aspect of the civil society is going to be governed by religion. And unlike Christianity, which has the Old Testament with all its rules that pretty much resemble what you have in Islam, you can actually suspend that. Give unto Caesar what is Caesar's. In Islam, this does not work. Islam is supposed to be, right from its birth, it's supposed to be both a religion and a mode of governance. And so there is absolutely no way to disentangle the two. And so connecting with what you mentioned just now, something like ISIS, if you look at how ISIS came to be, they basically dredged up historical precedents that came directly from the history books, recast them into a more modernized format, and that's what we ended up with. I remember since my childhood, people saying, "Oh, we would love to revive the caliphate that went along with the Ottoman Empire," and now they had it materialized right in front of them. Many of the people were positively shocked about what this actually means. Having that kind of rosy dream of some kind of a caliphate that brings back all the glory, they actually saw what it really meant. But some other people really think that this was the way to go. So I think as long as there is an Islam, there is always going to be a possibility of something like ISIS growing and flourishing and coming back.
I'd like to add, it's the broader thing is we don't want any religions in government. You know, in the US, where you could say maybe it's the strongest tradition of let's keep religion out of government. There's a ton of religion seeping into our government anyway, even with our exceptionally good laws with respect to that. If they're good, I don't really know. It's not like I did a real study of a whole bunch of countries. At least we're famous for being, church and state. We should separate. Hey, that's a nice little church and state. We should separate.
We're going to find Rami protesting out on the street.
Rapping. Does that sound almost like a rap?
No, this sounds like a song.
I'm not a singer. I have no skills like that. Okay, so the government one is handled, right?
Well, one last thing. Oh, you want to go first? I'll just mention my thing quickly, actually. So, question to all of you again. So, in this society where there's Islamic government, and where I had this experience too, Sam. I grew up in the United Arab Emirates. You have to have Muslim. You're a Muslim no matter what in your identification. So, what happens to you if you leave Islam under this kind of government?
And that's exactly why we don't want Islam in government. Oh gosh.
So if we want to think about all the implications that happen, especially if you go out publicly and start flaunting it, because some of the Muslims would say to you, yeah, you can leave Islam, just keep it to yourself. As if it's when you look at how Islam and all the proselytizing religions and how they publicly go out defaming other religions and talking about other religions and other people. So in any case, the main issue from a legal point of view when it comes to apostasy laws, blasphemy laws, as a kind of a way that formalizes something that's already there in religion, it actually becomes a kind of a crowdsourced theology enforcement, if you will.
Oh, totally.
A way to actually impose that theology on everybody. And we have to remember, let me actually go back to the society of Medina, where everything started and where all this kind of tissue became so enmeshed together. So when you look at the Islamic prayer, where everybody is supposed to show up to the mosque, everybody is supposed to, especially the dawn prayers, where you're supposed to wake up, wash up, and stand up in military parade, essentially, which is supposedly how it started to begin with, to show loyalty to Muhammad. The two are so well connected together. It's a kind of a call to order to show up, and at the same time you are performing what's supposed to be a spiritual duty. So there is something in the way that the rituals are enforced, the way that everything is supposed to on the face of it, everybody is supposed to show religiosity. And so it's going to be very hard for someone who says, I'm no longer a believer, to actually live freely and perform everything that they want within that type of society. Now, I'm not saying that in practice everywhere is going to be the same, and in so many places people are not going to really care, but that is how it is in principle. So this means that you could have this invoked to a maximalist degree, where you can see the religious police as it used to be in Saudi Arabia, and in other places where people are a little bit more relaxed and they are not going to really care and interfere, but not in a formalized way that would guarantee your right to actually go out and do whatever you want.
And I think, so I was going to go back to kind of the point that you made, that there are some of us that, I don't know if I would say flaunting our right to leave Islam. I think it's more that we want to be heard, and we want that voice to be heard by others, to like help them feel seen and heard and valued, right? Too, that like me seeing people like Mariam Namazi gave me a lot of hope and courage to like have my own voice as well. And so I think that's really important. But I think in terms of just the government, Remy, I'm with you. I am so grateful that I live in the US and I had the the privilege, the opportunity to be here. Because if I was back home in, for example, Pakistan, I would not be able to do what I'm doing here very easily. And so I think that goes to show that there's so many more Islamist, and I think that's the distinction, right? Islamist governments. It's the Islamist governments that really kind of put Islam into everything, right? Everything from whether you're going to get a divorce all the way down to, right, like how you're voting for people in the country,
Mhm.
what you're voting on. Like, has there ever been, can we get these, like, at the end of the day, we want these apostasy and blasphemy laws to be, like, just abolished, because that at least will start to get us to moving towards a more secular sort of state and government that actually, like, centers people instead of a god, right? That's what really just bothers me about religious governments, is that they put the religion, the God, the prophet, everything at the center, and men at
Mhm.
the center of everything. Everyone else can, we're all shit out of luck at that point, especially women, LGBTQ, right? Like all the rest of us that are kind of left reeling from these very sort of authoritative, controlling laws made by men for men. And it sucks for the rest of us too, then.
Yeah.
Remy, what are you going to say?
Let me add something to that. So maybe this gives an answer to all of the variations of that same question: why we don't want Islamic government,
Yeah.
the mind, relationships, family, all of it. Islam's conception, or the conception it tells us about human interaction, is that in a disagreement, somebody has to win, somebody has to lose, and then it chooses who. So between man and wife, it is the man, and it tells
Yeah.
us we can use, beating to make her obey. Between parent and child, same thing, it's the parent. Between Muslim and non-Muslim, same thing, it's the Muslim.
Yeah.
Between Muslim and ex-Muslim, also, it's,
Yeah.
And I don't think that's the correct way. The correct way is, well, we can resolve our disagreements peacefully with consent, all that, including parent and child, which, and by the way, I don't even think the West is very advanced in that area in
I
respect.
think all of us need more advancing and progress, like, generally, I think.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
My kids would agree with you. Yes, yes.
There's and I think that's something that I, I feel really just horrible for the people that have to be living in Muslim countries with very Islamist governments, and eh, and the fact that they still go out of their way to speak about Islam, and they still go out of their way to find community and find each other, right? I think that just goes to show the resilience and then the courage that it takes for all of us to go, we're done. We're done with Islam. Even if I'm in a Muslim country, I will take the risk to find others like me, because I can't be alone in this. And I don't want to be alone in this, right? Like, humans, we're collaborative. Like, we love people. We love each other. We love hanging out. We love community. And I think that's exactly what happens with ex-Muslims too, is that we really do like the fact that we are able to find each other. And even if Islam says, nope, we're still going, nope, I'm done. I think that the courage that it takes to get to that point is huge, huge, right? When all your life you're like, you have to believe this. Your entire government is doing the same thing. Your family is doing the same thing. Your friends are doing the same things, right? It's just like this, like, repeated indoctrination that you're going through. And yeah, it takes so much to get out of that.
I think there's a overlap with when Sama, when you use the word flaunt, like, don't flaunt it, just stop practicing and whatever. I think there's for people in the Western world, the real overlap, I think, is that's the kind of thing that people in the LGBTQ community hear, where, oh, I don't care what you do in the privacy of your bedroom. That's a classic thing. Why do you have to flaunt it in parades or whatever? And that's the same kind of mentality that exists also for LGBTQ people. So the idea is you have to play along, you have to play this role, perform this role your entire life, and you can't express who you really are, what you truly believe. You can't criticize things if you believe that they're harmful to you or to others, because that's flaunting it. So they're forcing you to be silent, and that's the reality that I think happens. Like if we were to move to just like the next couple of things to talk about, is that instruction, that education happens in the home, from your family, your parents, your grandparents, the closest people to you are the ones that are enforcing this, and then you go to school and you get more of that kind of indoctrination.
Let me just add one little point about this last issue. And we discussed this several times when I and Rami were talking about it. Our visibility is actually so important when it comes to normalizing the existence of ex-Muslims in the first place. If you go along with that directive, yeah, be an ex-Muslim, but do it privately, you're actually reinforcing that image that gets created when you demonize someone that is not there. The faceless ex-Muslim who gets demonized is demonized because they don't show up. When you're showing up and talking and humanizing your presence, that's probably one of the best thing that you can do. And the people who can do it, like us, are doing a favor to others who can't, because there are people who cannot publicly show that. So I just wanted to add this little point.
I'd like to add.
Yeah,
go ahead.
go ahead.
Were you gonna finish? No,
go ahead.
I'd like to add one thing. Is the thing Alim brought up and that Usama was talking about, the way it's framed, what we're doing. If we speak up, they're calling it. What was the word you used, Alim? I don't remember anymore.
Flaunting, right?
Flaunting.
Word? Yeah.
Flaunting. Okay, so here's how I see what I'm doing. I'm trying to save people from the suffering that I faced. It's not much different than, say you're in the woods and you fell into a hole or a trap or whatever. When you escape that trap, if you escape it, you should put a sign out saying, hey, everyone, there's a hole here. Don't fall in. That's what I'm doing with every word I say about Islam. And, I'm trying to help you avoid the hole that I fell in. That's all. I'm not fucking flaunting. Excuse me, I'm getting angry now.
You know what the really hard thing is? When you're talking to Muslims, and I'm talking about true believers, they're trying to save you from what they think is a hole.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like we're both, like, on each side, we're warning each other of like almost like opposing things. And once you leave Islam, you start to see, oh, that hole that you're so worried about doesn't exist, and you're actually putting yourself in a different hole.
That was actually that was something I was about to say. When it comes to the schooling system in general, in any kind of religious society or any authoritarian society that's trying to provide one narrative, you have the schools are basically losing their main purpose. If schools are meant to give you that ability, not only to know things, but also how to know these things, there's going to be this kind of asymmetry where Islam is taught as truth and everything is presented as error. You're not going to be getting that kind of sense of objectivity. You're not going to be developing that skill of objectivity. You don't have doubt. You don't have the ability to compare religions. The whole philosophy of belief is what you are presented with. And so there's going to be a kind of a long-term effect on you and your identity and how you're going to be approaching everything that you have in life. And this starts from childhood and accompanies you throughout your entire life. So it's not something that's trivial. It's something that's very, very formative.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think I'm just, the education parts of it too is just crazy, right? That there's so many of us that are getting education that is like, Allah created the world, and right, and the rest of us are getting a very different education, which is like giving us like the scientific evidence behind how the world was created, like Big Bang, all these things. And there's so many of us getting a very different education. I think that's scary too, is that like a lot of these governments are implementing Islamic education into what should be objective education. And I'm really grateful that, like even one of the first essays that I wrote in my first Islam class was comparing good and evil. And so I compared like the angels versus Satan. And at the end of the essay, I actually was like rooting for Satan. And I was like, what has happened? And like, I think those are one of those like very fearful moments for me too, of going, oh no, what am I doing? Like, I'm actually like supporting this one entity that we're told to stay away from and not to be misguided by it. I'm here going, but it made sense that he made that decision. So, but yeah, I think we all agree we don't want Islam in any of these spaces. And I think one thing that was very clear for me was that there were Islamic regimes in our homes and in our countries, because those laws that are being implemented in countries are also some of the same laws that get implemented in our own homes, right? Like we are told to shut the fuck up about Islam. We are told to stop talking about anything and asking any questions. So I think a lot of people don't realize that these laws, the Sharia law, is also in our own homes. It's not just the government, and in our homes in America. Like that, it was in my home. Like, I think we have to, like, also talk about kind of that aspect of it too, that it shows up everywhere.
Right.
And for a lot
Yes,
of people,
very
sorry.
go for it.
And for a lot of people, even when they sort of officially leave Islam, officially meaning like they're able to call themselves an ex-Muslim, they still have Islam in their heads in a way, because they, let's say, fear hell, and some of them don't, but let's say they feel guilty about some of the things they're doing. All of that is stuff where Islam is still in their heads a little bit, not to the point where you shouldn't call them an ex-Muslim, but yeah.
So the problem with the whole idea of this perception that Sharia exists outside, and then you have some kind of if you think about civil laws, how they get implemented, you have the laws outside, and then you have your home. The problem here is that you're supposed to have God directly having access to your thoughts, which means that you're basically self-policing, and that self-policing is going to have really grave implications that would affect your afterlife and so on. And so when you're looking at something that you don't approve of at home, and you see that someone is not praying, someone is not doing something that they're supposed to do, saying something they're not supposed to say, that implementation of these laws gets inside the home, and the punishment is not necessarily going to be a physical punishment. It's going to be relational exile. You're basically going to have so many different consequences on how you live, even inside your home. If you just think about the fact that this is something that's accompanying you in every single moment. You have supposedly two angels on your right and your left that are basically writing down everything that you do. And so when you have a little lapse, someone else is going to say you did this or that. So even at home, this is something that infiltrates everything.
Yeah, that's like so well said, and I can say from my personal experience and this is something that a lot of Muslims are taught when they're very young. You read the Quran and you read about the punishments that will happen in hell, and you're taught that if you're going back to the two angels, if the book of deeds that you get at the end of everything, if you receive it in your right hand, you're going to paradise. If you receive it in the left hand, you're going to Jahannam, hell. And so that's the genius of it as a control mechanism, is you start policing yourself.
Yeah.
No one has to do it for you. You just
Oh.
you just read the Quran. You listen to what your parents say, your family says, your teachers say, and you do it for yourself. And when it's something like questioning your own sexual orientation, or like anything along those lines, where you start hating yourself, you start hating anything that you've done that doesn't align with what you're supposed to do as a Muslim, and that can lead to depression, it can lead to suicide, it can lead to harming others. Who knows? Like, there's so many negative consequences that come from it. And this is, by the way, taught to hundreds of millions of children around the world.
Yeah. They Catholicism is usually portrayed as something that's really big on sin, but when it comes to Islam, you're basically having guilt without crime. You're basically moving through your life with that sensation of guilt, this uncertainty about all the things that you might be doing that could be questionable, or
And the guilt weighs on you like repeatedly, right? Like there's so many in so many cases. Like me sitting next to this a gay friend on the bus going to school every day, and my little brain, like kid brain, is going, "Oh my God, he's gonna go to hell." And like feeling guilty for him, right? And so I think even that, like the association that we have with guilt of like, I feel guilty for this, like this Jewish person that's going to be going to hell, and this Christian person, this Hindu person, this gay person, like pretty much everybody, and me included, right? Because I'm thinking of like all these thoughts. It's exhausting. After a while, you're like, okay, I'm done. I can't. How much more can I blame myself for everything?
Rami, sorry to interrupt you, but we are running way behind schedule, and
Okay.
there's so much I want to talk about with both of you. Sam, it was a real pleasure to finally meet you and just listen to your thoughts. You're very eloquent. I totally believe that you're involved with a magazine. So it was a pleasure hearing from all of you. We do need to get to our next discussion panel. So Haram Doodles, you're also unfortunately leaving us for this next one, aren't you?
See you later.
Yeah, we'll see you towards the end.
Okay, bye.
Yeah.
See you, Osama. And okay, Rami, do you want to introduce our next guests?
3 guests we have coming.
Yes. Okay.
You mean you want me to say it before they come on?
Yes. Who's
Mariam
coming up
Namazi
first?
is coming on. And
you start with Mariam first? Oh, wow. Okay.
Am I going to get in trouble for that? Okay. I was going by order of the amount that people know them.
Okay.
Next would be, I guess, Yasmin El-Baramawi. And then, I hope I said that right. And then Raghad Rustam, which is my mother.
Saving the best for last. I like how you mentioned her last.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I like your logic there. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to add all of you right now. Okay, I think you're all ready. Okay. So I'm going to add all of you right now.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Miss you
So
so
I'm
much.
gonna
To see you.
So somebody has played.
Hello.
Miss you. Nice to see you. Oh, is that?
Somebody has played.
Hello.
Okay, I muted all of you just for the moment.
Just so we can figure out who it is. Yeah.
Okay, I muted all of you just for the moment.
Just so we can figure out who it is. Yeah.
Okay, I muted all. It's just on an endless loop. Okay, so I'm just gonna remove all of you. Oh,
And
Yasmin,
add them
I think.
again, one by
Okay,
one.
Yasmin, it was you.
Okay, it was Yasmin. All right.
Okay, let's try adding you again in a second. Okay. All right, Yasmin, how's it going?
Sorry, it was me.
No worries, no worries.
Okay.
Okay, well, welcome everyone. So I was before we get started with the topic of the panel, I was wondering if each of you could just tell us a little bit about who you are. And unlike Rami, I'm going to start with Rami's mom. You can go first.
Oh, all right. Oh,
I
thank
totally
you
threw
very
you
much.
under the bus there.
Thank you very much for you. Well, first I'm so proud of everyone. I'm sitting, I want to cry when I was listening to everybody. So, and I wanted to say, congratulate everybody for ex-Muslim month, and I'm proud of that. And so about me, I am an artist who left Islam 2012, and it was absolutely very hard for me because I couldn't believe finally I understood, or I have read the Quran, I read everything, but for some reason my logic was sleeping. So all I see, I believed everything except did not, I gave excuses for the problems about women and, killing atheists and mulhideen and whatever. So, but after that, I don't want to say, make it too long. So after 2 years, I got more encouraged to keep going, and actually voiced. And I went to Shabake. Shabake is the group we have. It had 100,000 people in it. And then I was very active. Then I got introduced to the magazine around 2014.
Arab Atheist magazine, through
Arab
Sam.
Atheist magazine, and I was amazing at that time. I'm sad about that. We could go back to that time. So I did around 13 or 12. I designed the covers. I did paintings that go along with articles about Islam, criticism of Islam. And first I started with a fake name. Then I decided, no, I am going to be more, encouraged, and I'm going to go with my name. So I went with my name and picture everywhere. So the result was that half of my family stopped talking to me. The one back home, not my family, immediate family here, no, but back home, all of my, especially one of the uncles, he told my husband and whatever. But I didn't care. Now I am, 15 years. I am actually proud of myself and proud of my son, proud of my grandchildren. Their grandchildren all left Islam, and I am happy, very happy. I'm still active with painting. So I have done, if you could go to my website, you could see all the paintings they have done for the magazine, and some of them, people who got killed because of Islam, like the writer Nahid Hattar and Amro. There's another guy who got killed, a young guy, and there's others. And now I have done for the last few days, I was working on the painting for Betty. So I just finished it. I'm going to show it to you today.
Amazing. Right. Mariam, do you want to go next?
Oh, we can't hear you. Oh, no.
Okay, let's see if that helps.
No.
Oh, no. So, Mariam, we can't
Maybe
hear
we should
you.
have tested that.
So maybe if you...
Oh, now we hear, I think.
Wait, speak, Mariam?
No.
Oh, no. Maybe try exiting and then coming back on. That sometimes helps. Yasmin, you can go next if you'd like.
You hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Well, okay, I'm here to speak about Sherif Gaber. He's disappeared the 4th of November. Let me introduce him first. He's an activist and a YouTuber, a blogger. He opened a Facebook page like 10 years ago about atheism, started to criticize Islam. And he was first arrested in 2013 in Egypt, and he went out on bail, and then he was arrested again, and he got like 4 years in prison, a verdict, and he escaped that, and he's hiding and trying to leave Egypt. And then he got another verdict on the year 2024 for 5 years, which now is a total of 9 years in jail that he need to go to serve. And he was hiding all the time, and meantime he was still active online. and he was doing his best not to be blasphemous, to criticize Islam in a very objective way, not offending anyone. He even made up names, made up another name for Allah, another name for Muhammad, to avoid using the real Islamic names, and he never used an insult. It was a very objective criticism. But for our society in Egypt, religion is sacred to the limit that you only need to praise it. You do not even say that there is one tiny problem in the religion. Otherwise, you get punished for that. You get disrespected for that. Even people start to question your sexual orientation. I don't know what's the relation between that and that. And also, Sherif talked about women's rights, talked about homosexuality. And now we don't know anything about where he is. He disappeared 32 days ago. Not his family know where he is. And that's not legal. It's at least his family has the right to know where he is detained. And if someone need to go to jail and need to go to prison, officially arrest them and put them in jail, and we get them a lawyer. But to kidnap someone and we don't give us any information, and we can't help him. We don't know what's happening to him. Is he being tortured? Is he still alive? Are we going to see him again? Is it just because some people say there's elections and we will lock him for a while and then release him? So it's inhumane to put friends and the family in this pain of not knowing where is Sherif. And that's happening also to but there is another person who got kidnapped. His name is Magid Zakaria, and he disappeared 2 weeks, and now he's detained with other 20. So there is a total of 21 atheist activists in jail. One of them is disappeared in Egypt, only for criticizing the religion from inside Egypt. And that doesn't make any sense. And one of the prisoners is an officer in the army, Egyptian army, an ex-officer in the Egyptian army. And people usually told him, that's Magid, why you speak about Islam and inside Egypt with your face and your name? And he said that he's an officer and he was willing to sacrifice his life to Egypt. It doesn't make any sense to be afraid inside the country that he is defending. And he kept going many years, 5 years maybe. Now he's in jail. Also, it's been 3 months, and for everybody else, it's 3 months without a verdict. It's just like people in the police, they're just renewing the 4 days, 45 days, 45 days. We don't know what's going on, what will happen next. Egypt is not following any constitutional steps or legal steps, unfortunately.
Thank you so much, Yasmin. Mariam, let's see if we can hear you now.
Hi, I think I figured out what the problem was.
Amazing. Yes, we can hear your beautiful voice. Great.
Thank you. Hi. Should I just follow on what Yasmin was saying?
Yes. And I think it's important to also talk a little bit about Betty as well, if you want to do that too.
Yeah. I mean, I think this actually follows quite well from the discussion you were having earlier with Osama and Haram Doodles and yourselves about religion in power and how negative that is and what sort of adverse effects it has. And I think, the example of Sherif, the example of Betty, these are real life examples that we all know of many more that really show how it affects individual lives, people's lives, how it destroys lives, and not just theirs, but families as well, their loved ones. And of course, we're seeing this replicated all across the world where religion is in power. and particularly in countries under Islamic rule. So with Betsy, too, I mean, the case is, as of today, she's been in prison for 118 days, and she's been held in solitary confinement throughout.
Wow.
She has no mattress to sleep on, and she's a cancer survivor, so she has a prosthesis in her arm, and she was meant to operate on it in France after her visit to Morocco to visit her mom and her family and friends, and it's detached now, so it's, you know, the bone is detached, and there's a huge risk of her losing her arm as a result, because she needs specialist care and specialist surgery that isn't available in Morocco. And so this is not of concern to the Moroccan government, of course, the fact that she's in isolation, she's sleeping on the cold cement floor, and because of this, her arm being in the way that it is, she can really not wash herself very well. She can't, she's very afraid of falling every time she moves, because she only has really the use of one hand, you can say one arm and one hand. And the lawyers of her case, and I think most probably all your viewers will know why she's in prison, but just to recap, she wore an Allah is lesbian t-shirt at an event in London, and she posted a photo of herself wearing it on social media. And so interestingly enough, that photo wasn't even taken in Morocco. It was taken in London. And she's been wearing this t-shirt for several years now. The first time she wore it was in protest to two lesbians who were given the death sentence in Iran. So it was like an act of solidarity. And she's been posting photos of herself wearing that, including at Celebrating Dissent conferences that many of us have been at from our speakers here. And so it's a result of that t-shirt. But like so many blasphemy and apostasy accusations and imprisonments, it's as a result of sort of mob threats and violence, you know. So what happened is there was this huge pile on Betsy because of this photo, tagging security services, and there were death threats, rape threats, stoning threats against her. And instead of the security services looking into, of course, the people who are making threats of violence against a woman, they went ahead and arrested Betsy and have sentenced her to 2.5 years in prison, an equivalent to 5,000 euro fine. And the lawyers have tried to ask for a sentence, because this is a new sentence that's come up in Morocco, where people who haven't committed violent acts can have their sentence converted into an alternative sentence. So they're not in prison anymore, but they can do community service or be under house arrest or whatever. And that was just this week refused. And the judge said that it's because of the dangerousness of her infraction. And again, you know, it is this conversation you were having earlier about the fact that the most hideous, violent actions are taking place by very often Islamic states, where stoning is permissible, child marriage is permissible, domestic violence is permissible, sex apartheid is permissible, women having being second-class citizens is permissible, and so on and so forth. And then someone who says Allah is lesbian is considered dangerous, so dangerous that she needs to be in prison, despite the fact that her imprisonment could possibly kill her, given the risk to her arm, the risk to infection, and so on.
Wow.
So it's depressing. I mean, I guess we just have to keep fighting for Sherif, for Betty, and for many others in Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Afghanistan, Iran, who are facing these sorts of sentences.
Mariam, I wanted to say something to you. So I've been painting about Betty, and what you just said about her having to lose her arm, that almost made me cry, because I painted her with 2 arms and they're healthy, and I was not aware. I didn't know all the information, and I'm so glad you told me right now. And you told us, oh my God, this is like, how this happened in this world. This is very shameful to have happened something. A shirt, a shirt. God is lesbian. And then otherwise they go and kill, girls die because they have nikah. It's allowed. Everything criminal is allowed, but have a shirt on with something against their ideas, that's criminal.
I mean, yeah, exactly. And the thing about this too is the fact that there really isn't anything wrong with God being a woman, God being a lesbian, and the fact that there's so many people who think that she did something wrong. It is hard to get support for her, in the sense that people think, well, she shouldn't have done that. Even if she took the photo in London, it seems not to matter. It's the fact that she shouldn't have caused offense. And it is the sort of situation where offense has become more important, more dangerous than murder, than violence, than rape threats, than stoning threats. And it says a lot about how successful actually Islamic states and the Islamic movement have been in making any sort of criticism as something that shouldn't happen. So the self-censorship that you talked about earlier in the program as well, but also the censorship and the pressures that come from everyone else as well to say, well, you shouldn't have done this. And a lot of people are saying that about Betty, despite the fact that she might lose her arm, despite the fact that she's in solitary confinement. And why is she there for a T-shirt?
Yes.
It's ridiculous. It really is. And I think the thing that I can say, living in Canada, I can say this about North America and maybe to a lesser extent in Europe, is that people don't know. Like, they don't know this whole situation is happening. No one would know anything. No one would know the name Sherif Gaber, for example, either. No. These stories aren't really told, even within the countries that they come from or that they live in. And I think one of the best things we can all do is just put the word out there. The least we can do is just to at least increase the pressure on the governments that we live in and the governments that are detaining them to do something, to release them. Because at the end of the day, what have these people really done? Is it worth being detained and tortured and punished for? I don't think so. And so what I wanted to also ask all of you is, and we can start with Sherif Gaber, what can people do? Like, what do you like? Is there a website that you can recommend to people to go to? Yasmin, is there anything else people can do?
The fact that we don't know where is Sherif Gaber is a problem, because to have official steps, you need information. You need something solid. Like with Betty, you are asking them to just get her a mattress. But in Egypt, what can we ask for? They didn't even press, or they didn't say that they arrested him. They didn't announce that. We know that they did, but they didn't officially announce that they arrested him. So they don't hold any responsibility for that. Yeah. So what kind of steps that we can take officially is none. But on another hand, that's even many people are angry that people know Sherif more, even in Arabic-speaking countries, not just in Canada, because not everyone still knows about like atheism or ex-Muslim people. So because of that, as an activist, we are on our own announcing this. So many people are looking up his name more, and there's hundreds, thousands of people watching his videos. And even the Islamic scholars, they are very angry because he's becoming more famous, he's becoming more dangerous. People are watching more his videos and his opinions, and that kind of exactly what the opposite of what they wanted. They wanted to silence him, but because they did arrest him and they tried to maneuver not to hold responsibility, so we started to talk about him, and it is going viral everywhere. Exactly the opposite of what they wanted to do. So if that is kind of pressure to them that they release him, or kind of, I don't know if the government can be who can put any, like, have friends in London and in Paris, and they go to the Egyptian embassy to drop his picture and say, and with free Sherif Gaber, we can do kind of demonstrations or protests for him, like, but kind of for Betty, when you do collect people signing for releasing her, we can't do that with Sherif. Sign for what? Ask for what? They didn't say they arrested him. So all we can do is that we have this activism on our personal responsibility to put pressure on Egypt that exactly what you wanted to do is exactly not happening, and the opposite is happening. Maybe they will change their mind. Maybe they get the idea that, yeah, they need to contain us. They can't exclude us. We must force us that they accept our presence. They can't get rid of us. Can't
Can I
make
ask a question?
clear.
Just a small little question. So when you go to officials in Egypt and you ask him, where is, you imprison him, where is he? Where's Sharif? What do they say?
We don't know him. We didn't arrest him. We don't know anything about him.
They lie. They absolutely lie about this. Wow.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they're lawyers and judges. Wow.
No judge, but his lawyer is trying to find him, and
Yeah.
can't find him.
Do you think he ran away by himself?
No. We are sure that he's arrested.
Disappeared himself? No.
No.
Wow.
He was kidnapped. And this happened also with Magnet in September. He disappeared for 2 weeks, and
Yeah.
Since
Yes.
the last
I remember that.
revolution, it's there's some people who appeared after 3 years. It happened. It's not legal at all. But people
Of course. Look what happened to Ahmed Harqan. Ahmed Harqan, the story is amazing. The
Yeah.
same thing. They imprisoned him in a way in his country. They told him, you can't leave. He kept saying, I have to leave, because they burned his house. They beat him, beat his wife, whatever. It was so many stories. And then he decided that he wants to leave. But they
Yeah.
said no. They prevented him. Then he ran away. First, he went back to Islam and he lied about it. And I'm with him with that. And he told him, I'm back to Islam. And then he disappeared for 6 months. And apparently he walked out of Egypt to Europe. And now he's in Europe. He's
Yeah.
a smart guy that he left, and he
Yeah.
ran away from this country, from Egypt.
Yeah. Actually, both Sharif and Ahmed were talking inside Egypt, and
Yeah.
Sharif had the chance to go to Germany 6 years ago, and he came back to Egypt. And Ahmed was still in Egypt, and he asked him, "Why did you come back?" And his answer was, because when we speak from inside Egypt, our voices are stronger.
Wow.
And Ahmed agreed, because he was doing the exact same thing, because it's more effective to speak inside the country. But then both of them were banned from travel. That's why Ahmed needed to literally walk on foot to Italy.
Yes.
And he was
Did.
getting killed, and he needed to say that he went back to Islam because he will meet on his way in Libya and the desert. He was going to meet Islamic troops or militias, so he needed to say that he's back to Islam to be safe. So, but
Wow.
Sherif didn't get the chance to do that. He couldn't escape.
No.
Ahmed did. Yeah.
This hurts. It hurts so much to have
Yeah.
people imprisoned, killed, disappear, and then just because we change our minds about this religion, just absolutely ridiculous.
Literally,
So I don't know. Whenever you want, I could show you the painting for Betty that I
maybe now's
designed.
the time. Rami, could you share it by any chance?
It's actually physically right behind her, I think is what she means.
Oh,
right?
The physical painting. Okay.
Yeah.
Physical
Let's see if we
painting,
can
yeah.
take a look.
Just a minute.
So the idea here is Alim asked, what can people do to help with Betty and Sherif? And you basically do what you can do. In my mother's case, it's make a painting. So
yeah, this is what I do. I have a woman. Look, I have a little story. So the first time I went to the Shabake for the magazine, I made a painting for, like, it took me a year. It's all about women in Islam, and it's huge. And I can't show it to anybody because everybody is gonna be against me. So I just hid it, always covered it. So I went to the Usama and the rest of the admins. I told them, listen, I want you to put this painting out. This is the only place I could put it. And they said, oh, so you're a painter, you're an artist. I said, yes. They said, okay, so you're gonna be designing our, the covers for the magazines. That's how it started. And that painting for women in Islam is still sitting there. You know what I do? I keep adding women either killed or disappeared or, raped, whatever. And then I just paint them in that painting. I'm adding more and more. And just, but I haven't been working on it for a long time, but I'll show it to you too. You want to see it? You want to see that one too? Okay.
Please do it, yeah.
So let me show you the painting for Betty. All right. Hopefully it's my screen is very small.
Let's see if I can make it bigger. Hold on.
Look,
okay.
Do you see it here? I don't know how. It's like I can't even. Yeah, it's. Look. So it's the light in it. How's the light? So as you can see, this is. You can recognize Betty, right? Do you? Can you guys tell me?
Yes. We read
you
that.
See it?
Yeah.
All right. So, as you can see, I painted her looking up because I it's like not want to face these people in front of her who's doing this. So I chose a picture of her looking up, and of course she's doing the sign, the peace sign. Do you see the peace sign? And
yes,
with her chains to the wall. And then I was thinking, what am I gonna do about her shirt, the shirt that she was imprisoned for? So I didn't want to use the same words. So I used symbols. So this is the word God. So as you can see, this is Allah in Arabic. Do you see it?
Yeah.
I don't know if you see it. And then this is as is. And this is the sign for lesbianism. As you can see, there's two flowers in two circles, and there's flowers around them. So this is my way of showing the shirt, but not saying actually the same words that made her get in trouble. And I don't know. And then you go back and you see she's holding a cage. So that's her cage, holding, and this is a sign of Islam. So I try not to be very aggressive in this. So I had it is like she's holding on it and she's imprisoned in this. And of course there is all these imams sitting and there's this is the Quran. This is a sign of Quran, and it's the chain tool. So what do you think, guys?
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it really
Do you
is.
like it? So it's what I wanted to show. I don't know. I want to ask you. So because in my eyes, it's sometimes different. Does it show hurt? Does it show all
Suffering.
this red and white and all that splash? Do you see hurt? I didn't want to show her face that hurts because I refused to do that. I did not want to.
Her face,
show
I
her.
think, shows
This is
defiance. I would say defiance is what you
defiance.
see in her
That's the
face.
word, defiance.
Yeah.
You see defiance, and I wanted to show her, and it does look like her, right? It does, right?
I have something to say. The word God looks like Wi-Fi sign, and Wi-Fi is actually stronger than God. It's very convenient. Wi-Fi
yes.
knows more.
Yes, I used Wi-Fi on purpose.
You did both.
It's because we're on the internet.
Yeah.
So
Allah on the
I
internet.
looked. Yes. So I used the word for the sign for the Wi-Fi as Allah. Allah in Arabic, you can see that's alif, lam, another lam, and a T.
You are giving Allah a bigger size than his size.
Of course, it's fictional, and it's representative of that they say God. Like it's representative what they say it's God, because I didn't want to show the word God itself, because I was talking with Rami, and I said I really don't want to just write the same thing that she got in trouble with, right? It doesn't happen, right? What do you think? So I decided to do a symbolism, and I think it's beautiful because it just let them think about it a little bit. Let them use their brain a little bit. The pea brain they have. Anyway, so this is the
context. For some context for people watching, they might be asking themselves, is the creator of this painting an atheist or not? And the answer is atheist.
Yes, I'm an atheist, yes. I use the word God is because it have been used. But no, I don't believe in the God that they always say. Maybe there's some power, but it's nothing to do with the religions that we have seen. No. Their books prove.
I wish all Muslims were atheists.
Yeah, they tell my son that you're lucky that I. So we left Islam sort of the same time. Me and my Rami. I bet I'm before you, Rami, a little bit. I was hiding it. You remember? And then I followed.
We weren't really talking with each other about it. We kind of each left on our own.
Yeah, he was married to a Muslim woman who she's always putting the Quran all over, all over upstairs and downstairs. And every time I go to his house, it's like a mosque. And
I don't really remember. It was 15 years ago, and I think I subconsciously blocked out.
You've erased that
probably
part from your memory.
80% of that stuff.
Yeah. So I don't know how much time you guys have. I'll show you the women in Islam painting. Just I don't want to take too much. So this is a big, huge.
Oh, that's a big one. Okay, Mariam Yasmin, I'm going to take you off just so we can get the audience to see a better look at it. Okay. I might take myself off too.
You know who's this? So the Tunis woman who got killed because she took off the hijab. She's from I think so. And here Tunis or Morocco, I'm not sure. So this painting, let me put some light on it.
Sammy,
I'm here in my studio here.
Mahsa Amini. I don't think I'm pronouncing that right.
Yeah. I mean, yes. So I started, this is the represent a woman. It's not finished. I never finished. I keep adding stuff. So it's
Let
not
it be a
really
living
a present.
document. Never finish it.
It's like documentation. So I started out with women. This is supposedly, this is the, the Quran. The Quran, in my, the color, I use the color green because they love the color green. And I believe the Quran is the cause of all that death and bloodshed that is there. So I try to have the women, these women who are in chains, it's coming out of this. As we can see, it's coming out of it. And there
Mama,
is
you have
down
a
there.
convert to your religion. They said,
Yeah.
okay, I'm obsessed with art now.
You are who? Who
Somebody
said that?
said, Arlet up north says, okay, I'm obsessed with art now.
All right. I'm glad people are watching.
And I
So
translated
actually,
that to,
I have to tell you, this is the first time I'm showing this painting. If people are watching right now, this is the first time. And I wish it was finished, but it's not. I promise I'm going to finish it. And Osama have to put it on the magazine covers. Okay, so this is the imams. As you can see them, just like all they do is have their big mouths and screaming, yelling. And there is, I'm thinking, I'm going to do something else connected to this. There's other, Sherif, Gaber is going to be there, and Betty too. So this is going to be added here. So here, well, do you think I'm going to get in trouble with this for this painting? I think so. Anyway, so this is the representative of women. And so it's like, as you can see here, I don't know if you do you see how, this is a woman right here and her half brains. You remember if Islam tells women we have half brains and we are shamed, something to be ashamed of. So this is, so I put the brain here and there is a, so this is the Mghara. Mghara is where Muhammad supposedly received the message from God. So,
oh no, it looks like she's frozen. Don't know what's going on.
And this is that talk to him. I'm frozen? Who's
for
frozen?
a second, you were.
Me?
It looks fine. It looks fine now.
Oh,
though.
okay, now. All right,
Yeah,
so
I
this
think
is
you're back. Yeah.
so this is the angel that made him supposedly in Maghara. And so this is the words that made, so I wrote this is just to show what he's writing and what he's thinking about and whatever. And so here, there's Arabic words that you guys, I don't know who speaks Arabic there. Of course, I don't know if you.
Alim
I
can
could,
read in Arabic, right?
yeah.
I have
If
a
you could
lot of
read-
difficulty reading that kind of script, though.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a little bit. I actually al-khudu. You could read it, right? Right there.
A little bit difficult.
Yeah. So this is the painting about women.
Thank
And
you so much for sharing it.
There is. You're welcome. And this is something here. I started with this. It's gonna represent something else right here. And of course, I love to add things that sometimes it doesn't have to do with this. So I added the pyramids right there. Do you see it? So, yeah. And I don't need to tell you about this. This is the black rock that everybody goes and try to, in the Kaaba, to try to, touch. So that's,
I see them kissing it, right?
yeah, kissing it. So, it shows how it's like a woman. This looks like a women's part, women's sexual part. And I don't know if you have realized that, but it is, in my opinion. So that's why I put it right there, right there. And there is, right, there's something there I don't want to say right now. Anyway, so it's getting deeper and deeper. And I'll finish it. I promise to finish it and show it in all.
Thank you so much for sharing it. And I'm just going to add
You're
Maryam
welcome.
and Yasmin back on.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing.
So
And
you guys liked it?
it was
How do you
beautiful.
like it?
I love the colors, the imagination, the different shapes, like everything, all of it. They're very powerful.
Yeah, I love to use my art to I have been doing. If you go to my website, you'll see all the paintings I have done for that, and it's about one of them is about Nahid Hatar, the guy, the writer who got killed because he was criticizing Islam, and it's a shame, and I'm so sorry for all this, but this is the world we live in now.
We have to keep plugging along.
Yeah, we keep
So,
going.
so Maryam and Yasmin, I want to just turn over to you if there's any last things you want to share. We're going to share all the links for people. For example, if for Betty, if you want to learn more and if you want to help and sign a petition, you can find all the links at freebetty.org. And for Sherif Gaber, I think what the least any of us can do is just use the hashtags where Sherif Gaber and free Sherif, hashtag free Sherif Gaber as well.
Yeah,
Yes.
don't stop writing.
If I can just add that I think exactly the point is that even if he's not in prison, even if they're not, we don't know which prison Jaber is in, even if the Egyptian government is not giving that information, we can still put pressure by asking where he is. So I think that is hugely important. What we can do, the least we can do really is to make sure that they're not forgotten. These are activists who've done a great deal to defend the rights and lives of many people, Betty, Sherif, and the least we can do is to make sure that they're not alone at this time and that they're not forgotten. And it's very useful for governments. If they're forgotten, they can do whatever they want with them. And so it is hugely important that we keep this pressure on, even if it seems useless. It does have an effect. I mean, governments
Yes.
do pay attention. It does cause embarrassment for them and they have to respond. And so I think we need to do that as a minimum. All of us need to do that. And during these 16 days of activism from November 25th, which is the International Day Against Violence Against Women, until December 10th, which is International Human Rights Day, we are doing 16 days of activism for Betty. And we're asking people, there's a link that's also on the Council of Ex-Muslims site, which gives you information on where you can write to the Moroccan authorities, where we've even put sample letters there, so you can just copy paste that letter if you don't want to spend time writing your own, tagging them in social media, writing to them. And on December 10th, we also have protests at various embassies. So we already have protests in Berlin, in London, in Paris, in LA,
Wow.
in Milan, in front of various embassies, where we're going to be taking mattresses and dumping it at the Moroccan embassy to say Betty needs a mattress because she's
Wow.
in a lot of pain. So if you can do that, even if there's one or two of you, just to go and take a mattress you can buy, you know, a portable one for very reasonable, even a camping one for even $10, £10. It's easy to find. And then you can donate it to someone who's homeless after. So that way, just to bring attention, take a photo and put it on social media, tag and write to the Moroccan embassy officials. And also, of course, write to government officials in the countries you live in, asking them to put pressure. So it's all about pressure. Nobody gives a damn about free thinkers, ex-Muslims, apostates, blasphemers. No one gives a damn about us. So we have a responsibility to make sure that at least we're doing the most that we can to make sure that we are not letting people like Gaber, people like Betty to be forgotten. I think there's so many of us, and if we all do something very small, it can snowball and have a huge effect. Keeping them in the news is important. Keeping them, people talking about them, it's important. So hopefully everyone who's listening and who watches this program also later will continue to put pressure until they're free and until we know that they're safe.
Thank you so much.
Great.
Yasmin, is there anything else you want to add before we wrap up?
Yeah, actually, it's not only that nobody cares about us, nobody's going to talk about us, but it's also people are happy. Like I'm receiving thousands, literally thousands of comments and messages like celebrating that he's arrested. And even the scholars, the clerics, they have millions of followers, and they put his picture and they say, now let the evolution theory help you, or the nature help you. You couldn't do anything. Like, they're mocking him.
So filled with hate.
Exactly.
Yes.
And the majority of the people, the internet users, are happy. They're celebrating that. And so I mean, we must keep talking. And also I wouldn't say there's a margin of Muslim people who are nice in a way, and they don't like that we get treated that way. If they are willing to do something about that, they should, I guess. Like, you don't have to be atheist to write about someone's freedom, someone's respect, someone is getting detained for their wearing a t-shirt, or for their questioning things, or having like curiosity, criticizing, critical thinking. You don't have to pay for that. This is good things, actually. You don't get punished for that. So if you believe in freedom of expression and critical thinking, human rights, you don't need to be ex-Muslim to write about them, about Sherif or Betty. You just need to be a human. You need to be fair to write about those people, and ask for their rights. And remember, if you accept the violation of human rights, you are a human yourself. Your rights are going to be violated too. Don't be narrow-minded. We are all the same.
Thank you, Yasmin. And thank you to all of you. This was really moving for me personally, especially because whenever I say a story like Sherif Gaber's or anyone or Betty's, there's the thousands and thousands, tens of thousands, who knows, maybe even millions who are suffering in silence, whose stories don't ever get heard. And I'm hoping that, if we increase the awareness about these individuals, it also helps all those other people too. And what I'll do is I'll timestamp the specific segment so people can share it, and so people can learn about these stories in case they haven't heard of them already. So yeah, thank you so much again.
I just wanted to say, if you guys need this painting, put it on shirts. I will just send it to you guys. If you need it, I'll send it, and then you could put it on shirts, or you could use it for any other activism.
Amazing. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much again.
Thank you.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
take care, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So next, if Nushuz is still here.
I don't think she is. We ran a little bit long.
Yeah, it's our fault. We took too long.
So we did have a segment where we're going to talk to this writer, Nushuz. Maybe we'll save it for another live stream. Rami, what do you think? Maybe on your channel, or we'll figure it out.
I mean, I'm going to have her on my podcast, and I was.
There you go.
I was going to use this little few minutes to promote the podcast I'm going
Oh,
to do with
it's like
her
okay, as a
to
soft
talk about
launch.
her book. And then I was going to also use it to convince you to have her on your show about the same thing.
Okay, well, why don't you just give everyone like kind of like a quick preview?
Okay,
What's
so
the book
the book
about?
is called Born a Burden. And actually, I don't
Born a Burden.
Born a Burden. I should get the full title. Born a Burden: Breaking Free from Islam, Tradition, and Silence. And I haven't finished the book yet, but it's so amazing. I'm actually having a hard time getting through it because I'm learning so much about how horrible it is in a lot of the Muslim majority countries. And I'm from the US. I don't know about these things. You know, I see a little bit of, I learn a little bit about the rest of the world, the ex-Muslim situation in the rest of the world through ex-Muslim subreddit. But after reading this book, I'm realizing people don't say a lot in the subreddit. But what Nushuz did is she had a lot of interviews with these people and she got a lot of information out of them. And it's all in the book. Ex-Muslim stories. And it is horrible. It is jarring. And I guess if you're from over there and you dealt with it, it'll just look like the same old stuff you already know. But the book is more than just ex-Muslim stories. It is also a lot of explanation and logic about why these things are bad, why the morality that Islam says is bad and how it harms our lives. So that's what it's about.
No, it sounds really interesting and definitely open to having the shoes on my channel too. So yeah, everyone look it up. Born a Burden.
Yep.
Okay, and we're gonna just wrap up the live stream. I think it went really well. Lots of
Well, there was one more
thought-provoking
part. I
things.
don't know if Sammy's still here, if she wants to still do it.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Okay,
what we're
there was
gonna
one
wrap
little,
up with.
maybe 5 minutes, and
All right, so we'll
promote
bring
a really
Samuel.
awesome
Looks
thing.
like she's ready. Oh, here you go. All right.
Changed out my screen just so you could see behind me of what I'm going to talk about.
Okay. All right. I can actually share it
Sure,
separately
go for
too.
it.
So maybe we'll do that too. So we have another website to tell you all about, and I really, really love this one. So I'm going to just share my screen so you can all see it. Let me pull it up here. All right. Can everyone see? So that looks just like a map of the world, but this isn't just any website or any map of the world, is it?
It's sure not. So this is xmuslim.me. My partner is Samir, and I actually, you probably see him in the chat. He and I had this random idea. I had seen Queering the Map, their website, about a year and a half or so ago. And it was a similar concept, but those messages were for LGBTQ folks to send messages to each other and like kind of just pin them to basically down to the street level and down to the address level. With this website, what we did was really made sure that ex-Muslims could safely and anonymously share their stories, that they could show up on a map, and we don't allow it to zoom in to the street level for safety and anonymity. And so right now we are just showing sort of some of the big cities. Some of the updates that are coming for this is we're probably going to be adding more cities so that folks can actually choose the city that's a little closer to them. But yeah, so far, I mean, literally within the first 36 hours, we had over 170 stories, and today we're at 214. And I'm blown away by just people coming in
I'm
and
in there.
yeah, I'm in there. All of our stories are in there, and it's just really cool to see that like there's ex-Muslims in North America, there's ex-Muslims in Australia,
That you,
Africa.
Alim?
Yeah, that's my story. You can, it's a little bit too small for anyone to read it, but basically, yeah, like you just go in. It's very easy to use. You can type up to, I think it's 2,000 characters, right?
Yep.
And you can share your story, like why you left, what challenges you faced, what you believe or don't believe in now. It's kind of up to you, and it's completely free. The only thing you need
Mhm.
to give is your email, and that's just for verification, security purposes, to avoid trolls.
And spam
And
and all that stuff.
spam, yeah. And
Yeah.
so I highly recommend to any ex-Muslims to share their story here. And if you're worried about using your email, I recommend creating a new email anonymous email just for this purpose, and that's it.
Yeah, I was gonna say too. Remy, did you want to?
I just wanted to clarify. It's a brand new website. It's going to evolve. It's going to improve. So if you have, already one person had a bad experience. They had their thing deleted. They put too much characters or something.
No, they actually included
I say
a
format
personal
your thing somewhere else and then paste it here. You know.
Yeah, Remy, I think that specific person had posted a link to their Google Drive that is not safe, and so we removed that link because that puts them in danger.
Yeah. It was for their protection, of course.
Exactly, and so just one thing I want everyone to know: like when we review stories, we don't see anyone's email address. The email address is an automated function in the back that just makes sure that you are a human and that code that you pick up you place in when you submit your story, and so that just ensures that there is an actual human behind it. And yes, we are checking for safety, all the hacking, the attacks that could potentially happen. We made sure that we have some good beefed up security on this website. And one thing that we have already done is before on the website this week, we actually did make updates. There's Samir. That's just FYI, that's my partner. He and I kind of are the two people that kind of spearheaded this website. I brought in the idea and then I said, Samir, can we do this? And he was like, let's do it. And so he just kind of ran with it, which is amazing. And just really grateful for folks in Ex-Muslims International that helped test this out, both of you included. Thank you for helping and checking this, even in its very early stages. But it's been really, really overwhelming, and just I've been like the other day I like cried because just the stories coming through and just seeing and hearing from people. Someone messaged me and said, a Moroccan ex-Muslim actually messaged me and said they'd been holding on to their story for 40 years, and this was the first time that they actually told their story through this website.
Wow.
Someone else messaged
it was
saying,
needed,
it was like
and is needed.
Yeah. Someone else messaged like it felt like a brick was like removed from their chest, like that they'd been holding on to this for so long. So it's just been really cool to see the growth, and yeah, we're hoping more people come out and share their stories, and we're gonna have more updates coming soon.
Amazing. And yeah, I just want to remind everyone as well, again, email is used for verification only. It is not stored with the stories and is not exposed to moderators. But yeah, if you just want to be safe, just create another email account that you can use safely and anonymously. Yeah.
And the only other thing I'll say is we do not allow spam, any sort of violent language towards other people, any sort of any personal links like Google Drive links, please don't add those. Your story may get rejected if you're proselytizing in it. So if you're preaching like Christ is all you need, that's proselytizing. So we are reviewing for a lot of these things as well.
Thank you so much.
Amazing.
That's really great.
Thank you.
We should mention what the URL is: exmuslim.me, if I'm not mistaken. Exmuslim singular.
Super easy.
Yeah.
We kept it as easy as possible to get to, easy as possible to go through. So yeah,
I think you did it right.
Thank you. If anyone has any like, if you have an idea for a feature, if you have any ideas that you want to like reach out to us, you can reach out to me on Instagram, Haram Doodles. DM me, feel free to share. And yeah, we're continuing to listen to everybody and implement the things that people want.
Do we have time for one more small thing? I'll make it really short, like 2 minutes. Okay. And Sammy's staying on this. She's involved.
And go. You have 2 minutes.
Okay, go. All right. So we would like to start a new program that would help ex-Muslims. We're calling it Ex-Muslim Advocates Learning Series. It would be a 2-part program. There's a weekly live stream and also a discussion forum. The idea is for them, these two things to work together. And when I say help ex-Muslims, I mean, all the things that you need when you first leave Islam, all the things that after 20 years you maybe already have forgotten, but kind of give you a jolt all at once, It's to power up and to possibly even, if you're able to, join the cause. like some of us have also done. Now, the idea is we really can't start until we have enough people and enough feedback. And so right now, all we're doing is just trying to get feedback. So I'm going to put something in the comments to get you guys to get to the feedback form. This is an anonymous feedback form. You don't even have to type in an email address or a name or anything. So I guess that's all from my side. Sammy, do you want to say anything about it?
And I think it's really, Rami, just wanted to say thank you for doing this for the ex-Muslim community. I think, we all come in with varying levels of experiences and skills, and we can all learn from each other. So I think this is a really great way to help hone some of those skills. And really, whether we're speaking publicly or we're speaking up in our own homes, we are advocating for ourselves. We are advocating for the ex-Muslim community, and for our right to leave Islam. And so I think it's really cool to see, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, and to be clear, I guess I didn't say this part. It's in collaboration with Ex-Muslims International. That's why Sammy's involved. It is a thing that I'm, starting with Uniting the Cults, but it's collaboration with everybody.
Awesome.
And is that it
Doing
then?
amazing things.
I think that's a wrap. Yeah. It went
right.
pretty smoothly. Well done, everyone. I just want to thank you in particular, Rami, for doing a lot of the organizing and the thumbnail designing for the YouTube, which, in case you're watching, everyone, sometimes designing a thumbnail can take a surprising number of hours. Oh, wow. So I'm glad you took that on too.
It was really Sammy, and then I just attached things on.
Of course, the artist. Yes, I should have guessed.
Anything to make it easier.
Yeah. But yeah, I just want to tell everyone again, just as a reminder, if you're thinking about what you can do to learn more about why people become ex-Muslims, why people leave Islam, and what you can do to support them, I'm going to include a whole bunch of links in the video description. I hope you can share this video, whether you're watching on my channel or on Rami's channel, Uniting the Cults, or at Ex-Muslims of North America. Do check out everybody's websites and Instagrams and everything as well. I think that's the best thing anyone can really do. And yeah, I just want to also say my thoughts are really with Betty and Sherif right now. And I always think about that, unnamed kind of anonymous ex-Muslim, I don't know, living somewhere in Saudi Arabia or wherever it is. I hope this can reach out to them so they can know that they're not alone. Yeah.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alim. Thank you, Rami. Thank you
Thanks,
for organizing
Sammy.
this.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thanks everybody for coming.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate everybody. Like special thank you to Gerwalk, Ben, for helping with all of the links and the moderating, and Arlet as well. Thank you for coming on. So Arlet, I highly recommend checking out their channel as well. Arlet's an ex-Muslim. So yeah, have a great weekend, everybody.
All right.
Thanks.
And a great ex-Muslim awareness month. Bye-bye.
Why not Islam? See you.
Bye-bye.